everybody, welcome back to the homestead. My name is Jessie, I'm the mama, and if you're new to our channel, we do a little bit of everything. Our family does their homesteading on just 1 acre. We preserve as much food as we can. We have different varieties of birds, including some ducks and guineas and chickens, and rabbits. We have rabbits. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. A lot of people have heard of cowboy candy, which is a candied jalapeno. And this year, I was actually successful in growing an abundance of nadapenos. Nadapeno is basically, it's a jalapeno with no heat. Cowboy candy's good, but not everybody in my family likes heat, so we're going to try this. I've never made it before, so you're coming along with me. I do that from time to time. And we are going to use the same recipe that I found on Pinterest a long time ago, but we're going to omit the red pepper, cayenne pepper flakes, and then we're also going to obviously use nadapenos instead of jalapenos. So, to begin, I had a bowl about this big full of nadapenos, and I saved the last one to show you. See? It really does look just like a jalapeno. As you can see, they're washed, they're clean. I sliced them, and I'm guessing I probably had about 2.5 or 3 pounds or so. There they are, all nice and sliced up. And I'm doing things a little bit differently than the recipe. I'm kind of doing my own thing. The recipe calls for you to put your ingredients together, boil them, and then add the jalapeno. Or not jalapenos, nadapenos. You're probably going to catch me mixing that up, but no matter what I say, it's nadapeño, okay? But anyhow, I'm going to just dump it all in here and stir it up and do it that way. That's just me. I am going to have Miss Petunia post the recipe at the end of this video, because this recipe covers 1 pound, and I'm going to multiply it to fit this batch. So you can have it per 1 pound of jalapeno, so you can make a little batch if you want, or if you have a lot, you can just multiply it like I'm doing. I think this is going to be my last harvest of the nadapenos because, well, they really kicked in really well for the month of September. But here in Missouri, we typically get our first frost around October 20th. Having said that, the last couple of years, we've had our first frost within the first 10 days. So I don't know that there's going to be much more time for me to get many more peppers. And I wanted to do something special with these to try to see, you know, if we like it. Gotta try new things from time to time, right? So, let's see. Let's get started, shall we? First off, off the bat, I'm going to put my apple cider vinegar in. This is just plain Jane apple cider vinegar. There's no mother in it, anything like that. You use whatever apple cider vinegar you have. I do think that you need to stick with this and don't do the regular vinegar. I have 1 2/3 cups because, like I said, I am multiplying my batch here. I also have a variety of spices. In here I have mustard seed, turmeric, celery seed, garlic powder, but I did leave out the cayenne pepper. And when you see the recipe, it's going to be on there. So you can use it for cowboy candy or nadapeño. I have 4 cups of sugar. I probably should put 5, but I'm trying to use a little less, even if they're candied. If I need to and I feel like the consistency is not right, I'll go ahead and add a little more. So I'm going to start stirring. I've got my stove on. Once this gets good and hot and it looks like it's cooking down, I'm going to cook it for 5 minutes because you don't want them thoroughly cooked. They'll turn to mush. I just want it good and warmed up. And this is where cooking your brine ahead of time and bringing it to a boil and then adding your peppers, it helps, but I'm doing it this way. I do things my own way from time to time. My kitchen, my rules. I'm going to show you what it looks like here in just a second. It's already mixing in well. That's what it looks like right now. Okay? I'm going to bring it up, warm it up quick, and I'll be back with you. I'm going to prepare my jars. I'm going to get my canner out, and we're going to get to work. Okay, before I forget, just a little quick tip. While I'm cutting up my nadapenos, you know, you accumulate a few seeds on your knife and on your cutting board. Save your seeds. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see this or not. I put mine on a paper towel. As I worked and cleaned off my cutting board, I'm going to set my paper towel in a warm, sunny window somewhere that we have cats. They won't disturb them. And when they're dry, I roll up my paper towel and I put it in a small bottle and I label it. there you go. You've got seeds for next year. And even if only, like for my family, I only need 3 pepper plants to get plenty of peppers for what we need. So out of that whole thing, if just a few come up, free seed. I did keep it away from all the hot peppers. There's no guarantee that it's going to grow true, not 100%. But what do we do for many, many, many years before seed companies provided the seeds for us, right? We saved them. So at any rate, if you're doing this or any other kind of food preservation and you've got seeds that are just all over the place and you're cleaning them up, instead of throwing them away, try this and put it up and save it for next year. Okay, some of these I said jalapeno, not a pino, are starting to turn a little bit darker green, and they're getting ready to boil. And look at the amount of juice that we have here from just the sugar, the apple cider vinegar, and the peppers themselves. So once this comes to a really good boil, I'm going to go ahead and crank it up, get my boil in, and then we're going to go ahead and can them. Okay, now you see what they look like. Hopefully the steam's not in your way. They smell really good, but my eyes are not burning. That's a good sign. We're going to go ahead and start filling our jars. I have 12, so I don't think I'll need them all, but I went ahead and had 12 prepared. Make sure your jars are clean. Make sure everything is clean and sanitary. Have a nice clean rag for your wiping of your rims. Your jar lifter, have all of your tools in place. Okay, and how I'm going to do this is I'm going to strain off some of the juice at first. Trust me, this makes sense. Shake them down. They'll fit good, so shaking them down is good. That's about how much I have in the jar. I'm going to set it aside. Once I have all of the jars full of peppers, I'm going to go back and fill each jar with the brine, with the liquid, okay? Let's get them all filled. Here's what they look like, nice and full. We're gonna go ahead and start getting our brine in. Very carefully, you don't want to spill, you want to keep it all, because maybe if you have a little bit extra, you can have that for marinating meats or using with your cornbread or something like that. So you definitely want to hang on to it. Don't splash it around as much as possible. I'll probably make a mess now that I said that. There we go. Back to the ball canning lids. I ended up using all 12. This one here is not quite full. I might put it in the fridge and try something creative with it. Not sure yet. If that's the case, I'll subtract that and say I got 11. I got 9 jars of the Nadapeno Cowboy candy and 2 jars of leftover brine. So that's a bonus. Get these nice and wiped off. They're good and hot, so be careful. My hands are kind of old and tough. As you're cleaning off your rims, always double check for nicks. You don't want nicks. Switch jars if you feel a nick. Get that sugar off those rims, it sticks quick. You don't want anything in between your lids and your jars. And you know, sugar is pretty sticky stuff. You can hear my canner heating up in the background. I do not preheat these lids. They say the new ones you're not supposed to anyway. Some people still do. If that works for them, that's fine. Back when they told you to, I didn't do it. Most of the time, unless it was something I was really concerned about. When you put your rings on, finger tight. Right? Snug, but not squeezed. Good and hot. That will It was a little, probably my, I'm gonna double check this one. This was off to the side. No harm in double checking. I might want to look. Wouldn't that have been something? Okay, let's get them in the canner. It's hot, be careful. I think that's all I can fit. Lower it slowly. Make sure your water's good and warm. Make sure your jars are good and warm. Don't put anything cold with hot. They're in. Should be boiling fairly fast. I'm going to double check my processing time here. Okay. I'm going to bring you up a little closer. This is water bath. Bring this water bath up for 15 minutes. Set your timer so you don't mess up. Once your 15 minutes are up, set your timer off. Don't touch it, don't mess with it, and give it a few minutes for the boil to come down. Once your boil comes down, raise your lid up away from your face. Set it off to the side. Give it a couple more minutes to relax. You don't want any siphoning, anything like that. And then we'll remove our jars. So we'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. That's how your boil should look. Okay, I pulled one out. Hold on. My nose is itching like I gotta sneeze. Patybug, you'll have to edit that out. My nose attacked me. Okay. I got one pulled out, nice and bubbly. Looks like everything's good, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the rest of these out. You don't really need to tip them. Whoop, already pinged. They'll evaporate off. I had to move it a little bit to get it out. Looks great. I think that's just water. Whoop, ping again. That's a good sound. One of my favorite sounds. I about dropped it. I did forget to put vinegar in my water this time. I usually don't add a lot, just a few drops. Or a little zhuzh, we call it a zhuzh. More than a few drops, I guess. And that keeps the minerals off of your jars. And as these dry, they're going to turn white. This jar was half peppers and half of the brine. It wasn't quite a full jar. That's the way it looks, the way that it does. I'll show you again here in a minute after I get them all out. But they look pretty good. This one here didn't shrink down very much. Most of them didn't. They will settle over time. Typically, with the jalapeno version of this cowboy candy, you leave it sit for a good month so that it has time for all of the flavors to marry and everything. With this being the non-heat, and also the heat calms down in the other, and with this being the non-heat, I would still give it time. Plus you want them to candy up good. So at least a couple weeks to a month. That's another of the brine. 3 more jars if I can get to them. Nice and slow. You don't want to move your jars too quickly. I'm still getting used to this. And I do not crank down my lids, but that one was about to come off, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a little assistance. They do work themselves loose. There's several of these that's already popped from the canner. Hey, so you have to hear a couple things. Okay. There they are. I am so excited to be back with you all. And get back to work. Get back to work. And my mouth's still at it, regardless of what my health was doing. Hopefully we'll have some good stuff coming out for you soon. We've got something really exciting happening this week. And I plan to get a video of it. It's a new arrival, the beginning to a new project. Bless my husband's heart. And if you guys notice, see my pretty cabinet here in the background? My sweet husband helped me with that last week, and I just love it. I just love it. And we're going to do a quick video soon on what I have on this cabinet and why this cabinet is a little bit different, or the food that's on it is a little bit different than what's in your normal pantries. And this is a good example of the importance of preserving food in your home, just in case you're like me and you have a bad season this year for health reasons or otherwise, that you don't get to preserve food. You've got backup. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, please stick around with us. We're going to have lots going on. Mama's back. I'm feeling pretty good. We'll see how it goes. If you get a chance to make this Nadapeno Cowboy candy, I actually said Nadapeno. I'm proud of myself that time. Put something down in the comments. Let me know how you like it, or if you didn't like it, if it didn't turn out for you and you prefer the hot stuff. And we're going to go ahead and have Miss Petunia, there goes my mouth, Miss Petunia post the recipe that I typically use for this, and it's for the regular cowboy candy, so you can use it for both. And I think Mr. Jesse Boy would like to come in and bring us on out. You guys, thank you for joining us. God bless y'all. Do what you can right where you are. Here he comes. He's in the middle of school, so he's going to make it quick.
Psalms 31 verse 8, O taste and see that the Lord is good, blessed is the man that trusteth in him.
34.
Psalms 34 verse 8.
Real quick. That's half brine, that's half peppers, and as you can see the white stuff, that's from not putting vinegar in. I almost forgot to show you, huh? All right. Bye, y'all.